Hello again, friends, and welcome back to another edition of Austin's American Flyer, where today I'm going to treat you to the beginning of a special series of videos on a visit that I made to the Sacramento or California Railroad Museum. And I know recently I saw comments about how people were amazed at the collection in the last video that I shared of Dave's layout. And his collection is truly amazing. He's got some pretty rare pieces, a lot of mini-craft buildings. It's just outstanding. However, this museum is also unbelievable. Its collection of train-related memorabilia is outstanding. And there's so much material here that there's no way I'm going to do it justice. But what I will do is I will show you some amazing pictures, some video clips, and probably whet your appetite. And if you get a chance to go, please do. It is going to be worth your time. It really is a phenomenal museum. So today we're going to start with the ground floor, or the main floor. When you enter the Railroad Museum, it kind of funnels you through, and you start off by seeing snow sheds and this wonderful American-style locomotive that was used for helping to build the Transcontinental Railroad. And it's impressive to me that this museum has so many mid-19th century, like late 1850s up through 1870s, 80s kind of thing, locomotives. And if you go to the website and read a little bit, you'll find out that their locomotives are constantly kind of in transition. They have many of them that are under restoration. I'm not really sure where they all are, but it was a real treat to see the ones that I did see. They claim that they have 8 locomotives on hand that are pre-1880. And I'm not sure that I counted quite that many, so there are some others elsewhere. But as you can see, seeing this kind of brass and restoration that they've done on these engines just is outstanding. I've seen pictures, lithographs, that kind of thing, of these locomotives, American style mainly, from this time period, and you always see them kind of way overdone. Same with the cars like you see here, but to see them in person was such a treat. By all of the exhibits were these placards, and again, for those of you that enjoy reading history, I tried to slow these down, and you may need to pause, to kind of scan over them, but hopefully you'll find these placards helpful as you kind of see a little bit more of what there is with each of the static displays. Another thing that I found fascinating is everything inside was on rails. Now, maybe that's not a big deal, but I noticed that the rails weren't just kind of a stationary thing, like you maybe driving on the highway, you see a caboose off in the distance and it's on a short section of track kind of thing. I noticed that the rails were all connected, and we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a little bit. And of course, not all of their displays were full size, as you saw there. They had some models that are very well done. Again, being able to get up close, see the details on driving wheels,
some of the brass components that I'm not even sure, you know, what all they were on steam engines, and I tend to remember, you know, what different things are, you know, injectors and whatnot. But there are some components I just didn't know. But it was neat to see how so many of the joints, if you will, on side rods and whatnot just had these cups. You know, it was Babbitt bearings and a little bit of oil that you had to refill all the time. They also had this amazing fruit car, which obviously California is a significant location for fruits and off-season vegetables and whatnot. I also noticed this switching engine is an 060 slope back tender, which those of you who've been watching the channel have noticed. I've had 2 of those join my fleet here recently. And to me, this looked like it had run at some point in the not too distant future past, and so I'll talk more about that at a later date. Now, with that last shot, you're probably thinking to yourself, that looks like something you'd see in a roundhouse. And these doors look like something you'd see if you're standing inside of a roundhouse. And we have tracks radiating out of this doorway. Hey, well, what do you know? There's a turntable. Here are some of the, it's kind of a mixed match. You can see there's a very old passenger car there. Then you've got the steam engine, the 060 on the one side. You've got this diesel here. Beautiful. Boy, isn't that gorgeous? Wouldn't you love to see that in operation now? Just love the striping on there. The CP Huntington is a steam engine. You've probably seen pictures. They turn up all over the place. This must be one of the most photographed engines that I've seen in the last few years, for good reason. It's very old and again, immaculate. And the way they've got it displayed, it's beautiful to see, but it's also very hard to get good video or photography of because of the backlighting. So anyhow, take my word for it. It is stunning. And we couldn't be in Southern California, or I should say California, without a cab forward, famous, made famous by the Southern Pacific. And again, for those of you that don't know, this kind of came about because of the snow sheds and long tunnels that they had in California and out west. I took this picture just to give some perspective on, this has 63-inch drivers, which aren't super big. But again, I'm on the ground, it's up a little bit on top of the rails, but these are still massive machines coming in at over 1 million pounds. And they use them both in freight and passenger service. They were very good machines. You can find videos of these in operation if you do a search on YouTube. They're interesting. They have compound, I should say simple steam operations. So the steam is applied, sent to both cylinders at the same time versus used in one and then sent to the other. This engine and the way they've displayed it is hands down the most stunning display I've ever seen of a steam engine. Obviously, you've got the Russian color, metal jacket. You've got these incredible eye-catching orange drive wheels. And then they've got mirrors behind and above, which allows a person to really kind of see a majority of the engine, even though you're only able to see one side of it or be on one side of it. But just phenomenal.
Thanks so much for sticking around to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment, and if you haven't clicked the like and subscribe, would really appreciate you doing that. Thank you so much. Until next time, take care, God bless. Enjoy those American Flyer trains, and we'll see you. Bye-bye.